Time Mom. It is Tuesday, which as around here you all know we call it Monday's Hangover. And the Mothership, Studio 22, Puppet Master Mark driving us into the nether regions of all things insanity alongside Let's Love Brandon. Brandon, you know I just learned your last name.
You're welcome.
He's just Brandon to me.
Yeah.
And then I said, Sarah, what's Brandon's last name? Because I was saving you in my phone.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we talk all the time. But you're just Brandon.
You know.
You're the Brandon.
I mean, you know, full name is a little too formal, right?
Hey, it sort of is. I mean, we're on an intimate basis at this point. I'm pouring tequila, speaking of
Please.
Monday's Hangover.
Dear God.
We all need it.
I need it.
You know why you need it? Because you're about to have to go do a hit with Alex Stein, who's actually filling in for our buddy Dan Ball on his show over on OAN. So drink up, sister friend. Tink.
Thank you.
Brandon Steele, that's a very strong name.
It is. It's
a very strong name.
It is quite strong. And if you Google it, there's a very popular gay porn star with the same name.
It does sound made up.
It
sounds
Brandon
like a stage
Steele.
name.
Yeah, it's my superhero name.
I like it. Yeah, it's a good alter ego or something. I don't know. It's not even your alter. It's just your real ego.
Technically, I'm not a full junior, but my dad is also Brandon Steele, so...
Oh,
you
but
say
you're not
a full junior?
We have the same middle initial, but the name is different.
Oh.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. So you're not a full junior. I never heard that phrase, but I like it.
I know. I was like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, well, I was about to make a funny joke about
my firstborn son will be the third.
Yeah.
Just because that's funny to me.
Yeah, there's a part of me that's a full junior. Anyway,
that's where that went.
God, yesterday was a heavy show. We're all getting hauled away on electric train cars.
You're just going to be re-educated, Chad.
They're going to have to use a lot of shock therapy on my fat ass. Since I am 90% water, and by the way, this Emmett Smith jersey makes me look fatter than I am.
That is large.
It's a big shirt.
It sticks out.
It's a big shirt.
Yeah.
Are you calling me fat?
No, I'm saying it's the shirt.
But as I reach down to find more room in the shirt to like hide some of it, no, it's all me. I'm pretty much filling it out. I don't know. Football season's about to start. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the NFL. We all know this. I'm happy that college football is back.
Yes.
My Georgia Bulldogs showed out against Oregon. And, of course, Alabama, they played, your husband's alma mater. Yes, they showed up and played against, whatever Middle Tennessee School of Typing and Court Reporting. I don't know who they were playing, but
Utah State.
Yeah. Somebody like that.
Woo! That was a nail biter for sure, but we eked it out, guys.
But hey, it was a good weekend. I spent at least 10 hours in front of a television, in and out watching football.
Yeah,
I can't do that. I can't do the marathon thing of football. I have other things. I'm too busy.
Well, and that's how I'm sure my husband would love to still be at a place where he could just do that all day, and he can't because we have these things called children, and sometimes they're terrors.
I'm a workaholic. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Let me make sure my teleprompter's not moving so much.
Same.
I'm a workaholic. You're a workaholic.
Yep.
We have a lot of stuff going on. I moved. That's why I'm not wearing shoes. There you go.
Ew.
They're cute right there. I mean,
the other one was dirty.
They are a little dirty. I've been walking around barefooted around this dirty studio. That one is pretty dirty, huh? Look at that sucker. It's size 11 and a half.
That's some Kmart feet if I ever see
I wish you weren't so accurate. Oh, my God. Look at this head. I've seen better ones on a pimple on my ass. Anyway, should go get a haircut or something. Yeah, but slumming it today, Sarah. You look lovely. However,
thank you.
Sarah,
I
I want to encourage people. Let's just get some bookkeeping stuff out of the way. Sarah Gonzales Unfiltered. Mm-hmm. That is your YouTube channel.
Yes.
The Blaze took Sara Gonzales and made it a News and Why.
The old one, yes.
Yeah, the
so
old
you gotta
channel.
Resubscribe.
So you got to go resubscribe to Sara Gonzales Unfiltered, and of course, shop Sarah G.
Yes.
That's that. And don't shop Sarah G. It's the whole word. ShopSarahG.com.
Yes. We've got a lot of fun stuff over there.
Yeah.
We got tumblers. We've got hats. We've got shirts. We got the works.
Yeah, and we're calling out Colton and Brent. Tighten up. I'm just kidding. We couldn't do anything without those boys. I love those guys. But we're expanding the business. Business.
Yes, we are.
There's more and more stuff coming. And I have this idea. Actually, it wasn't my idea. CJ's been after me forever about this idea, and I want to run with it, about make your man a sandwich. It's so we're going to start doing a little thing of video clips. We've been talking about this for a long time. We're about to pull the trigger. Video clips of make me a sandwich. And we bought like feedyall.com. And so we're going to do clips of some incredible, like, I don't know if you guys know this. I like to cook. I like to do all this kind of stuff. And we got some fun video clips coming up. Basically a cooking deal.
I like it.
We're going to make sandwiches. But the whole thing is, I'm going to make her make me some sandwiches. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we're going to post those videos and watch all the Riris get pissed off and be like, where's your wife?
Does she actually cook?
She ain't bad. She's pretty doggone good.
Good.
Yeah, she's pretty solid at stuff like that. But
if she wasn't, would you admit it on air?
Yeah, I'd tell you. I would tell you. No, there's some things she's pretty good at. Cooking's one of them. She's pretty solid on that stuff. She's one of those. She doesn't follow a recipe. She's like my mother in that regard. Just like, let's just throw this in here. This looks about right. This looks good.
That takes such a talent.
Which I think is the way. Like, if you could do it, you could do it.
Yeah.
I reference the recipe.
Me too.
Unless I've done it a few times, and then I start to veer off course a little bit.
I reference the recipe, and even then, it still probably doesn't turn out quite right.
What's it like at the Smith home? Is it? Are you a cook?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah?
I am not. I clean everything. I'm the cleaner, and I'm the child, watcher, supervisor, but Steven's the one who does all the cooking, and he's like you, and he is good, and he loves to do it, so it's a great match.
So over the years, I've done some silly cooking videos. Here's how to fry an egg. Here's how to make a hot dog. I've done these things. I've done some recently, actually, just
to trigger people.
And there's always the pushback. Like, I quit a long time ago making steaks on video or barbecue on video because there's people out there that want to bitch about, you didn't do that right. You did. That meat's overcooked. Yep. And sometimes you have to, I had a guy the other day, I posted a video of just a real quick version of my I Can't Afford That Shit, our song that we do. Funny song, and I just did a verse and a chorus of it for a reel. And this guy goes, you need to tune that guitar. And I'm like, well, you're listening to a guitar. It's in tune. You're listening to a song that I'm playing to an iPhone.
Right.
In a living room.
Yeah.
And he responded back. I said, it's in tune. I said, it's just, it's on a phone.
Yeah.
He says, I have a perfect ear.
Oh, my God.
He said, I have a perfect ear, and your high E is out of tune. I was like, it's really not. And he goes, I have perfect pitch.
Oh, my God.
That's what he said. I have perfect pitch.
Perfect pitch.
And your high E is out of tune. I was like, but did you enjoy the song? It's a song called I Can't Afford That Shit.
Right.
Like, can we...
Everyone's an expert on the internet.
Can we just have a little fun? Like my shirt out there that I posted it Sunday, because we ran a Labor Day sale, and you guys could still go to my site, use promo code Chad, and get some savings on it. But I posted my I Miss Mean Tweets. Mm-hmm. Thousands of people. Every time I post that picture, it's an old picture of me drinking coffee. It's Donald Trump's hair with the sunglasses with the American flag. I Miss Mean Tweets. And I put it up there. Thousands of people. And then the people who come out of the woodworks, well, the thing that you Republicans don't understand, or it's like, you're both being played by both. And I'm like, can you just laugh?
Just take the joke.
At the shirt. It's a T-shirt, not a dick. All right? Just take it and run with it. Okay? It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. But people are hanging on too tight, Sarah.
They are.
But I guess when you've been called an enemy of the state by the President of the United States that aren't united anymore.
That's true.
We're in trouble.
And then on the other side, you have the leftists who just have no humor anyway.
None.
Absolutely none.
Get woke, can't joke. That's my thing. Yep. Get woke, can't joke. That's a T-shirt. We should make that. Quite honestly, I think it's fantastic. Do you know that in order for California to supply enough power for their plan to have all electric vehicles, they're going to have to build 20 more nuclear power plants?
Oh, just 20?
Just 20.
That's great.
Now, I don't know how they're going to afford that.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to get the building permits for that. 20 nuclear power plants is how many it would take for Gavin Newsom's vision to to have electric vehicles in the state of California.
Does Gavin Newsom even want any more nuclear power plants? Because anytime you ask the left if they're into nuclear, typically the answer is no, they want the windmills.
Typically no. So the wind and solar, folks, let me just tell you, ain't gonna happen. I don't know if you've ever seen a bird graveyard. But these windmills, I tell you, they're killing birds. Big birds that fly over. And the windmills, they just knock them down. You walk under these windmills, and there they are, quite honestly. I'm not lying to you. There's birds everywhere, quite honestly.
That was my favorite thing he ever said. Ever.
And we were sitting in the audience. We were sitting there laughing our asses off.
It was so
funny. We're
funny.
6 rows back from the president, and he's doing this, and we're like, this is the best stand-up routine I've ever heard in my life. But he's not wrong.
No.
Because it does kill the birds. It does. You deny it, but it
Isn't that right,
birds.
Dan? Dan knows.
Dan knows.
Dan knows.
Dick Crenshaw. He's a big supporter down here.
I'd argue his best line was when they asked him if he called women fat pigs, and he just went, "Only Rosie O'Donnell."
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell.
He's the best.
So good. Oh, I miss mean tweets.
Again, look, a lot of stuff that Trump has said is not defensible. It's not, right? He gave them plenty of cannon fodder, right? He gave them plenty of fodder for the cannon. But this is enough, right? So Newsweek. Oh, I love Newsweek. Newsweek really grasps the unity and runs with it.
I can't wait to hear.
Joe Biden has faced criticism, has been compared to Adolf Hitler following a speech he made on Thursday. During his speech made at Independence Hall in Philadelphia, Biden attacked former President Donald Trump and his Make America Great Again MAGA supporters. Biden said that both posed an ongoing threat to America and the future of the country. Despite the attack on the former president, Biden clarified that he did not feel Republicans in general or the majority of Republicans posed a threat. He said Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. I want to be very clear up front. Not every Republican, not even a majority of Republicans, are MAGA Republicans. Not every Republican embraces their extreme ideology. I know because I've been able to work with these mainstream Republicans, but there's no question that the Republican Party today is dominated, driven, and intimidated by Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans, and that is a threat to this country. So,
what is the extreme ideology?
So, of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene from Georgia shared a viral video of Biden that had been doctored to include swastikas. Biden's face had also been changed to look like Hitler, complete with mustache. Couple of seconds from a speech by the Nazi dictator was also played over Biden's words. What we all saw tonight from Biden, Greene said as she shared the video. I guess when President Butterbeans is frail, weak, and dementia-ridden, the Hitler imagery was their attempt to make him look tough while he declares war on half of America as enemies of the state, or it's real. Eric Erickson, who is, of course, conservative radio host, said President declares half the country a threat to democracy. He's flanked by Marines with mid-1930s Germany red lighting behind him. Talking heads on CNN and MSNBC love it. Fascism is relative. The Trump is literally Hitler crowd really enjoyed Biden's speech tonight. That was Tim Young. Some social media users said Biden's aesthetic during the speech playing into the dark Brandon meme. And so anyway. So again, so this is Newsweek saying that conservatives are now comparing Joe Biden to Hitler. We're the Trump loyalists.
I'm sorry. Did they not live in the 4 years that Donald Trump was president, and literally everything he did, they called Hitler?
Everything.
Literally everything he did, he could breathe the wrong way, and they were like, Donald Trump is literally worse than Hitler.
Yeah.
And we're going to listen to this crap?
Yeah. I don't think many people have ever read a history book or even watched a documentary.
No.
Look, anything. I mean, Anne Frank, ringing any bells, anything out there.
It's the same thing that we were talking about with yesterday about fascism. It's like they call everything fascist because they actually have no idea what fascism actually is. They only know what, MSNBC and CNN have told them.
Yeah. Being played, folks. You know what I love is the Inflation Reduction Act.
Do you?
Well, it didn't do anything about inflation. Apparently, from what I've heard, it's all about the environment. If inflation is transitive, like Biden has said, then what's all the fuss, folks? Why do we need a bill But we did. We got a bill with so much pork in it would make Oscar Mayer nauseous. It's full of wiener. I'm telling you, the only thing that's going to get reduced are the dollars in our bank accounts. That's why I've been taking things into my own hands and investing in an asset that had better appreciation than real estate, the S&P, and even gold last time inflation was this high. So I'm talking about my personal investments in contemporary art with Masterworks. I love it. It's fun. It's a great investment. I'm not talking about Hunter's finger paintings here. These are the legends, like Picasso level stuff. And it's so valuable that it's outpaced the S&P 500 by more than double for the last 25 years. Now, I've talked about Masterworks a few times on the show. I think it's a genius idea. They're essentially letting you invest in a portion of these multi-million-dollar paintings. And it's no wonder they've got over 500,000 members with over $500 million invested so far. So because so far Masterworks has sold 6 paintings for an average net return of 29%, I mean, inflation be damned. But here's the best part. Listen up, folks, because I've got one of the best communities out there. I'm getting you guys an exclusive offer only for the Chad Prather audience. When you sign up at masterworks.com, and use promo code CHAD, you can skip the wait list and start investing immediately alongside me, alongside Chris Cruz. That's masterworks.com, and use the promo code CHAD. I spell it Chad. Now, what I want you to do is review the important disclosures at masterworks.com/CD. Again, that's masterworks.com. Use promo code CHAD. Skip the wait list. We'll be right back. You see this little deal from Mail Online News? There's a picture of a guy here holding a gun. Ukrainian pensioner shoots down 74 million euro Russian Su-34 jet with a rifle and is awarded a medal for his heroism.
What?
Yeah. There's 2 things wrong with that. 1, he didn't. And 2, that's a picture of him holding a shotgun.
Oh, no.
Not even a rifle.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was just popping through Twitter during the break.
Yeah, so that's just completely made up?
Yeah, but people believe it, so it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, because I'm like, the logistics of that, I don't
Right. And
understand.
Sean Penn and Ben Stiller can no longer go to Russia, by the way, now that they visited Ukraine. And again, Zelensky's still making the media rounds. They're coming in there and...
Well, it's a
rock
very
and roll.
serious problem and
It
conflict,
is.
but he does have time for
It
you
is.
know,
Well, I mean, I bring it up because they got all of our money now.
Right.
And they're getting all of our guns. So you mentioned a clip there during the break. Brandon, just with sight unseen, without any introduction, play that clip, please. 3, 2.
As you know, this week, Joe Biden came to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to give the most vicious, hateful, and divisive speech ever delivered by an American president, vilifying 75 million citizens plus another probably 75 to 150, if we want to be accurate about it, as threats to democracy and as enemies of the state. You're all enemies of the state. He's an enemy of the state. You want to know the truth?
I mean, Trump's going to double down on it.
He ain't wrong.
I mean, he's going to double down on it.
I really got to get one of those Blacks for Trump shirts, though. That shirt
Blacks
rules.
for Trump?
That shirt rules.
100%. 100%. Look, I mean, you look at this stuff. There's a reason Joe Biden's approval ratings are in the absolute tank. Kamala Harris, has anybody even seen her? Is she around? Is she still in existence? What's she
I asked
doing?
the same question at the end of last week.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. See, I see this whole thing. I don't trust any of it. Like, where are these people?
They're all holograms, I
Yeah.
think. I'm convinced at this point they're all holograms.
Yeah. All right. Well, y'all stay safe out there. And if they start bringing those F-16s at you, just shoot it down with your Ukrainian rifle.
Rifle.
All right. That looks oddly like
Your
a shotgun.
Rifle turned shotgun.
Yeah. Just letting you know. Listen, if they want to, they've just turned the drones on us. It'll lock into our cell phones and it won't even hurt. It's just be a laser beam from space. Just toop, 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 toop. It's done.
That's like when you said when we gave you a hard time about using the clear technology at the airport, and you're like, they already have all my information anyway. It's fine. Who cares?
I got it. It's a done deal. Drinking tequila. I'll probably be drinking tequila when they laser me from space. When they hit me from the stratosphere.
Well, I hope so.
Pew. So I'm going out. I'm meeting Jesus with some agave on my breath.
Jesus
Yeah,
turned
geez.
water into wine. He won't mind.
Yeah. What do we want to talk about? Okay, so I mentioned yesterday that we would kind of clear the air on this thing. There's really no air to clear. We just decided not to do a show September 28th at Lava Cantina, which is in the Colony, Texas. And my buddy is the buyer and promoter there, and he's Tony Avazano, been a good friend of mine for a long time. He's a good dude. Love that guy and his wife, and they're great folks. And so, they booked us. They said, you want to come do it? My booking agent, I've got a couple of guys that are agents, but my booking agent here in Texas, he gets a list of venues that come in. And he sends them to me. He's like, do you want to do them? Well, I immediately saw Tony's place. I was like, heck yeah, of course. Yeah. Absolutely. It's a midweek show, easy. It's local. It's cool. Let's go do it. So we did it. Well, then all of a sudden I went to their Facebook page because I was sharing the event. I go to their Facebook page and they've got a drag show. And I go, okay, here we go. And I looked and it said 18 plus, 18 and up. And I said, no problem there.
Right.
Can't, that is what it is. Now, there'd be those of you who would frown upon me and say, how dare you do a place where, trust me, if I were going to do that, if I were going to be the morality police, then I would never do a show at any venue in America.
No.
I mean, you got performing arts centers that are run by LGBT community. I mean, to tell me in show business that I'm a homophobe, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
First of all, this is day to day. I mean, I don't even think about stuff like this. So people say, "Oh, I can't believe you do a show where they do it everywhere, everywhere. Any venue you go to, they got something you could find to disagree with." So I didn't think anything about it. And then you pointed out, I think it was you who pointed out to me. You said, "Well, originally that was an all ages deal."
Correct.
And I said, "Well, that's concerning."
Yeah.
But again, at least they listened to the protesting and they changed it to 18 up. So I left it alone. I immediately that day I sent a message to and this was a week or so ago. It's been a minute.
Yeah, because can I say, you told me after I shared that with you, you told me I sent them a message.
Yeah.
As soon as we talked.
I texted Trey, my booking agent, and I said, let's be on the heads up on this. I said, because I don't like this, that they had it this way. I said, but if they're at least listening, then that kudos to them for doing that and changing it.
Right.
Because people sometimes, and let me just say this, and some of you are going to take this the wrong way, and that's okay. But these venues don't always know just like I don't know everything that's been on the calendar at a venue. A lot of times these venues just think they're doing a good thing. They just think they're doing a good thing. They're not people who are tuned in politically like a lot of us are. They're not paying attention to the cultural trends. They just think, hey, they want to have this thing. Why not?
Right. Well, we talked the other day or a couple weeks ago, I guess, about HEB, how their name was on a flyer for, what was it, a drag show, a child drag show, and then they had to remove the name because probably they didn't realize that that's what they were donating toward.
And I'm not saying that's always the case.
Correct.
But a lot of times, and I would say more times than not, on average, they don't know what they've agreed to. They just think, oh, look, let's do this thing. And they've got convinced they were sold on a show or some kind of deal.
And it's not always the person. It's not like the CEO who's making every single decision about like where they put their money to or who, headlines their events. That's not the way that it works usually.
So I started to go back and I started to look at it and I considered it. And I said, you know what? I just know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I know what's going to happen. I said, there's going to be some blowback. I said, somebody's going to pull up and say, okay, because the message back and forth between the venue and some other folks, concerned citizens, we'll call them, that was starting to be, it was public. Like you even showed me an email that was traded. And I said, we need to pull the show.
Yeah, it was not nice.
I said, because here's the thing. I said, here's the deal. Let's just pull the show because, one, the blowback, I don't need the blowback. The venue doesn't need the renewed protest that me being there is going to bring. My buddy who books these shows, he doesn't need that kind of stuff going on. I don't need a rift and a friendship between him and me, and he probably had nothing to do. I don't know if he had anything to do with that particular deal or not. I don't know.
Right.
He's a music buyer. And so I just said, we'll just pull the show. Yeah. It's new. We just announced it. We'll just pull the show. So we did. Well, then, of course, some of the folks jumped online, and immediately they threw my face up there next to the drag thing, and they were like, oh, Chad's agreeing to do these things with a deal. And it almost made it look like, some people made it look like I was the one hosting the damn drag show. Right?
Imagine.
And I'm like, so, here we go with this whole thing. And I had to say, look, we've already canceled the show. Well, why haven't you made an announcement for it? Because it's not your damn business. First of all, when everybody's notified that has money invested in this thing, and trust me, there's buyers, there's agents, there's talent, there's promoters, there's advertisers, there's bookers, there's all these things, the venue itself. We've all got money invested in this thing. When everybody's notified properly, then we'll tell the general public, because we don't need somebody who's just put $1,000 into advertising to read it on Facebook and go, WTF, man.
Yeah.
Right? And you don't think that happens. Trust me, it happens, because I got another story to tell you in a minute on this whole thing. So we canceled it. And so listen, just relax, people. Relax. We, believe it or not, do have a good conscience. We do operate in good faith according to what I believe my fan base and viewers and audience is looking for. And we don't promote those kind of things. But I in no way, and take this to the bank, in no way look at a venue like Lava Cantina and say, oh, I'm going to judge you, I hate you, we're going to protest you, we're going to block you, cancel you. Hell no, that's not what I'm saying at all. They looked at what the situation was. They heard the protest. They changed. So be it, right? Yeah. We're all growing together in this one way or another. And again, we will continue our fight against people who are bringing kids to these things and these places that welcome kids. At least they changed, right? At least they changed their tune. And so we're not doing the show. That's a long way of telling you we're not doing the show.
I would also like to point out that...
Here we go.
Boy,
Let's go ahead and go viral.
When I tell you this is the work husband situation is just like having a regular husband, I mean it. All I was going to say was that shows you the power, though, that you have by calling them, by sending emails, by showing your disdain as a member of the community. That just shows you how much power you have that we so often give up.
It's true. And
That's
you're
all I
right.
was gonna say.
It does. I mean, whatever.
Because let me tell you, the emails that I saw,
Here we go.
The people at that venue were not thrilled to hear from the protesters.
The person responding to the emails was pretty vehement on their response.
They were not nice. They were not thrilled, but they changed it anyway.
They changed it.
You're making a difference.
Yeah, it does make a difference. Speak up, speak out, and
let me know if you want to get involved in Houston.
Yeah.
Please DM me.
24th of September. Katy Christian Church, I believe.
Yeah, First Christian Church in
First
Katy.
Christian Church in Katy. Having a family-friendly or a all-ages drag.
Yes, I've got an operation if you want to
People keep saying, you need to bring this up. Well, we talked about it all last week.
Literally all the time.
All last week. All right, millions of Americans are waking up to a country they don't recognize, and they're struggling to raise their families and pay their bills, and the media and corporations out there are telling them that there's something wrong with them and with the country. Thankfully, there's some corporations that still believe in America and our Constitution and our freedom. Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative cell phone company. They're on the front lines fighting for the sanctity of life, religious freedom, and the Second Amendment every single day. This is why Patriot Mobile is different from every other provider out there. Inflation's made it really hard on Americans. Thankfully, the folks over at Patriot Mobile, they got plans for almost any budget, and they offer the same nationwide coverage as the major carriers. Get the same great service, plus the knowledge that your money is supporting the values that made America great and will again. Go to patriotmobile.com/Chad, or you can call them 972-PATRIOT. Use offer code CHAD. I spell it Chad. They'll give you free activation. Special discounts are available for veterans and you first responders. So go out there and get with Patriot Mobile. Join the movement. Make the switch today. That's patriotmobile.com. Again, patriotmobile.com/Chad, or call them 972-PATRIOT. Use promo code Chad. We'll be right back. Oh, so much more to get into, but this is that portion of the show where I must wax eloquent. And folks, in case you have been steadily lamenting the last days of our Sodom and Gomorrah, I come riding a white horse to proclaim that all is not lost, at least not yet. So let's tap our ruby slippers together, take a reverse whirlwind trip from the land of Oz all the way back to Kansas for just a moment, where a math teacher is about to receive $95,000 in a settlement from the school district that punished her unfairly for refusing to use a student's preferred pronouns just a little while back. Pamela Ricard, who up until recently lived and worked in the Geary School District, about an hour from Topeka. If you've never been to Kansas and you want to imagine a land flatter than, the Coke you left open overnight, and plant some wheat right there in that spot, let me tell you, you can drive off the road there and you don't even know it. You just keep on going flat. Now, with that image fixed firmly in your mind, step inside this institution of learning and see what happened. Ricard, who's a Christian, stood her ground against the school district and was suspended for 3 days for her trouble back in March of last year. It put a blemish on her record and was likely to only be the first in a series of disciplinary actions if she continued to refuse. Well, she did, citing that using incorrect pronouns to refer to a student violated her personal religious beliefs. She requested a policy exemption on these grounds, and she was refused. Now, there's nothing unusual about this story except for the outcome, which is that she won a settlement against the school. The court that tried the case apparently didn't care for Miss Ricard's rights being trampled and ruled in her favor. Now, I could stop right there. We could have a full story in that and celebrate, but I want to chew on this for just a minute. Here we go. First of all, I'm glad the justice system seems to have been in working order for once on an issue that has and will continue to be critical to the culture war into which we've all seemingly been drafted lately. In the land of the legal action, there's a thing called precedent, and it gets set through what's known as case law. In other words, primary laws and ordinances are written on the books by legislators, and then all the kinks are worked out over time through the judicial system. It's a slow-moving process, and it was designed to be by the founding fathers to do exactly that. And they didn't take lightly the idea that things in a fast-moving society can go off the rails in a hurry. What we're seeing right now is the development of case law that's going to shape the future of our conversations and legal actions surrounding this whole gender pronoun thing. And let's not forget that the, quote, gender pronoun thing is merely the eyes of the crocodile poking up above the surface of the water. There's a whole scaly monster underneath it. Now, when I tell you that you need to get your kids out of public schools, once again, it isn't just because cases like this one often swing the other direction and the great pendulum is and has been shifting to the left for a while now. It's also because that underlying ideology is passing from theory to fact in the brains of the mostly mindless followers who comprise a too large regiment in our society. This teacher lucked out. That's what I'm telling you. She lucked out. This case is the exception rather than the rule. The foundation of public schooling long ago went from crack to crumbling, and the whole edifice will soon collapse. Watch and see. You don't want your kids to be in it when it does. Sarah.
Ain't that the truth?
It is the truth. I'm drinking a little bit.
Got my kids the hell out of public schools.
Get them out of the public school, man. You got to take a little bit of tequila, get them out. Get them out that public school, y'all.
Did you just turn into Eric July?
What?
Did you just turn into Eric July?
Eric July, man, yeah, man. Eric July,
Get
man.
your kids the hell out of public schools.
Y'all don't know about the Rippaverse, man. I can tell you, God, them comic books on the shelf, man. They just come in. There's a whole alternate reality with them, all these retarded people, man.
I call him Black Stan Lee now.
That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good Eric
good.
July, if you tell me.
That's not
right
bad.
there.
Now you just got to yell about the roads.
Yeah, that's true. Black Stan Lee.
My roads.
Yeah. Anyway.
Them hoe-ass roads. That's my favorite Eric July clip ever.
All right, back on point. The power of social media. You were talking about the whole calling out these venues and stuff like that. By the way, I'll be at the Backyard in Waco, Texas, Saturday night. I don't think there's any drag shows planned, but we'll be there Saturday night. So if you want to hear some good music and have some laughs, come hang out with us.
Don't come if you want to see men
I may get
dressed in dresses.
Steve Helms to put on a dress. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Dance on a table?
Yeah. The power of social media, though. So I moved last week. Hired a moving company. And I'm not going to call them out. I've already done that.
You're not?
No, I've already done it. I've already done it. We came to an
man.
agreement. We came to an agreement.
That's what I came here for.
We came to an agreement.
All right, well, gotta go.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah. I mean, they you know, and moving companies are funny because to me they're kind of criminal in the way they do things, and I understand why they do it. You know, they give you an estimate, and then that's the guy sitting on his computer in Virginia.
Yeah.
And you can walk him through with a video, and I've moved a lot in my life, a lot. So I know to ask the certain questions. They never send enough stuff, like boxes. And so then the guys get there. It's funny because, first of all, Tweedledee and Tweedledum showed up at the house to load everything up. And they called me to tell me they were coming. And I knew I wasn't dealing with the brain trust.
Right.
All right? So they showed up. And it always is the same reaction from the movers when the guys who actually have to pick your shit up, when they walk in your house and they look around and they go, Oh, like the guy selling you the service on the phone, and I interview a bunch of them, right? The guy selling you the service, he's like, "Oh, it'll be an easy move, no problem." Yeah, he's sitting in his X chair in front of his, FaceTime video. Yeah, dude, you don't even have much stuff. Because that fold-out couch is weightless in your eyeballs.
Right.
But when the guy walks in, he's like, oh, man. And I'm like, this is going to be a long day. And when I pay for the service, I'm like, I want you to pack it up. So, again, they don't have enough boxes. We got to get more. We don't have enough boxes, man. I said, well, get some more boxes. Then they're like, oh, well, that's going to be another $700. And I'm like, no, this is the estimate.
Yeah.
You better get creative, Chief. And when I tell you, they used paper to wrap stuff up. And there was a salt shaker that had 5 pounds of paper wrapped around it. And the salt shaker came out like a basketball. It looked like Wilson on the island. And I had to unwrap it to get to the salt shaker like this.
Well, they got to charge you extra for all that paper.
30 pounds of paper.
Yep.
And so anyway, they do the whole thing. They get it. They finally, and it's a slow, tedious day, right? They load it on a truck. Now, I'm moving 3.5 hours away. So they've got to keep the truck overnight and drive it the next morning. I'm fine with this. Now, they always want you, once they get your shit on a truck, they want you to pay in full. They want you to pay in full because they guarantee they're going to get paid now because they got all your stuff.
Yeah.
That's their collateral. We got your stuff. You got to pay us. Because then it's not one of those, okay, we're going to show up tomorrow, unload it, and you're going to be like, oh, you know what? My debit card got stolen. I'll send you a check. No. They don't take checks. You could give them cash or you give them a debit card, whatever. So anyway, he's like, got to have the payment in full. I know how they do this. And I like to give the movers a hard time. I'm like, well, I'd rather the job be finished first.
Right.
Oh, we can't do it. We can't do it that way. No, we cannot do it that way. Complete white guy. We cannot do it that way. So
Sure.
I pay him. I'm giving him a hard time. They're good boys. Not smart, but they're good boys. Not quick either, but they're good boys. And so pay him. They load my stuff up. It's a monsoon. I mean, it's been raining in Dallas-Fort Worth lately. It's a monsoon, Sarah. I start driving 3 hours. I'm driving. I'm getting down there ahead of things. I'm floating.
I was worried.
Down a highway.
I was glad that you were in a gigantic truck.
Yeah,
but...
just something bigger to float.
Yeah.
So I'm floating down a highway. And I'm like, I hope that truck ain't leaking.
Yeah.
So next morning they show up earlier than I thought they were going to. Start unloading the stuff. They get it in the house. They get everything. I start to unpack, and the house smells like a cigarette.
Oh.
Every article of clothing. They had gotten the garment boxes. Those are the ones that have the bar.
Yes.
Garment boxes. And you're supposed to hang your stuff. Now, I got some expensive suits and sport coats.
Right.
Because I got it like that.
Well, I mean, that's the point of a garment box.
Yeah. And so they had taken it, folded it over, wadded it in the bottom, and just piled stuff on top of my tuxedos, my suits, my jackets.
I'm going to break out in hives just listening to this.
And it smells like nicotine. Which is, listen, I know nicotine. I don't smoke, but I've been in a lot of bars. I know nicotine. I know what you smell like the morning after. Whole house is reeking. So I get on social media, I make a post. I say, hey, listen, if you want your stuff to smell like Winston's, if you want to be like a night at Talladega, let me tell you, this is the company you need to use. Put it out there. 15 minutes. Corporate office calls me on the phone. 15 minutes. This is a nationwide company. Corporate office calls me on the phone. Chad, we read your post. How can we make this right?
What can we do for you to take it down?
Yeah, can you take all my stuff back? And so, again, they agreed to do all my dry cleaning. Now, the dry cleaning is going to cost probably more than the move. It's going to be a lot.
You sent me pictures.
Yeah.
That was a lot of stuff that needs dry cleaning.
There's a lot of... Listen, I used to have clothing sponsors.
Yeah.
I used to have clothing sponsors, jeans, shirts. I don't do any of that anymore. I've got the suits, the whole thing. It's going to cost a lot. They're not going to like me very much. But I told him, I said, I won't badmouth you, but you got to make this right.
Yeah.
You got to make... Stuff showed up. Only one piece of furniture was broken. Other than that, everything was perfect.
I mean... Other than
that, everything was perfect.
Other than ruining your experience, everything was perfect. Okay.
But my house smells like nicotine. And that, my friends, I can't handle. Hang tight. We'll be right back. I sent a message to Steve Dace the other day, and I said, man, I said, how far are you from Ottumwa? I think I'm saying that right. Ottumwa, Iowa. I apologize. I got to figure out how to say it before I go, right? Because we're doing a show there December 3rd. I'm doing a show there. And Bridgeview Center is a great little venue there in Iowa. And he goes, I'm about 80 miles from there. And I said, well, come over and hang out. I said, got a show that night. I told him December 3rd. He goes, Wednesday. And I was like, dude, it's a Saturday, Steve. For a smart guy, read the calendar. But get your tickets for that if you're in Iowa. Going to be there December 3rd, and that sucker is selling. And I thought of that just because I was looking at my email, and I just got a ticket count update. So get them before they're gone. That thing's going to be sold out well before December. So tell your friends in Iowa. Tell all your friends to come to one of our shows. It's a beautiful thing when people show up. Sarah, she's not here anymore. Look, she's gone. You see how empty that seat is right there? That's how I feel when I show up at a live venue and nobody's there. There's always somebody there, and they're always great people. But I want more of you great people out there. And we're so censored on social media that it's impossible to get the word out. So anyway, can we go real quick, that very first thought you have on the top of the list about the ma'am thing? Can you play that real quick?
So one of my students asked me a question the other day, and I wanted to get TikTok's opinion on it. Because, I've done some Googling, and I still don't have a good response for it. So I work in Texas, right? I didn't grow up down here. I grew up way in the north. But you know how, the respectful thing to say to people is ma'am or sir, right? I've come out to my students. All my students know that I'm non-binary. Most of my students call me mixed. Most of the staff at the schools call me mix or coach, either one. But when it comes to that, a lot of people falter when it comes to it, because a lot of people will still say, yes, ma'am. And one of my students came up to me the other day and was like, Mix, what do I call you? Because I don't want to say yes, ma'am, because that feels disrespectful. But if I just say yes, that also feels disrespectful. Don't mind my cat scratching in the corner. But anyways, my genuine question is there a non-binary way to say that? Because I didn't grow up saying stuff like that. That's not how I talk.
Yeah, here's how you do it. You just tell people your name is Mix. You don't have to be addressed as anything. Just start telling people your name is Mix. Just call me Mix. There, problem solved. Simple as that. I mean, your cat scratching on the floor told us everything we need to know. And the fact that you included it in your little edited video right there seriously tells us everything we need to know on that whole deal. Again, no sir, no ma'am, none of that stuff. You're supposed to be confused, people. You're supposed to be confused. Don't you forget it. I don't know what to call you. So you know what I will do? I'm just not going to call you anything. There you go. Was that the clip you were telling me about, or have you got another one?
Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah. Dude, I don't know
one.
about these people. It's like, how much attention are you trying to get?
I just like that they're confusing themselves now.
They are, dude.
Yeah.
They can't keep up with their own stuff.
Yeah.
They can't keep up with their own stuff. They've gotten themselves. You want to talk about an identity crisis? It's just so all over the map. They don't even know who they are anymore. So anyway, we could beat that dead horse all we want to, but you're going to see this more and more. I don't know. I just got to think that there's a better way to get attention. And apparently that's the way to do it. I've been doing this thing wrong. No. Yeah, play it.
Okay, here we go. So we'll pay your energy bills. Got £1,000 as well. So this is energy bills, I think, for 4 months if it stops on that.
Nice.
So how are your energy bills? Are you a bit worried about it all?
Major.
Yeah.
Are you?
I've got one of these prepayment meters and it's absolutely murder.
Oh, God.
Right, well, let's hope it lands on one of those then.
Whatever,
right.
You're going to win some money, so
Here we
don't
go.
worry. Here we go.
One way or t'other. Here we go. Round and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. Da, 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 da. £1,000 or energy bill. £1,000 or energy bill. It is going to be... It's your energy bill!
Oh, my God, thank you.
We're paying your energy bill for 4 months.
Oh, fantastic.
No worries.
Oh, what a relief. Thank you very much.
Oh, listen, well done, you.
Yeah, well done, you. I spun the wheel. But you're going to get your energy bills paid off for 4 months. Good job, mate. Hope you survive. Son, let me tell you, it'd be a party at Chad's house. Let me tell you something. We would never turn off the hot tub. we would let the gas run. We would have the power. I would have that AC down on 65 unless it was one of them smart units I would leave the doors open.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we'd be rocking and rolling. I'd be like, okay, mates, come and pay my bill. $4,000 for the month of October.
I love the dystopian future we're entering where it's just going to be game shows to see if you can keep your house or not.
Or get to eat,
Yeah.
right? Like, you get to eat this month.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, if it's happening in Britain or wherever that was, then it's got to be coming here. If it's happening in Europe, it's got to be coming here. Because, again, culturally, these people are already ahead of us in terms of the progressivism and then what they're kind of trying to do and normalize. So eventually it'll be a thing. You're going to win the ability to eat next month. Or you don't have to eat bugs for a month, that kind of thing. Because right now, that's what they're already trying to change the narrative. Or we'll let you use your car for a month and we'll turn the power back on your car. And we'll let you actually drive it this month. I'm telling you, folks, you start getting dependent on anybody, whether it's the government or game shows, and we got a problem. Like, if that's the kind of thing we're rewarding people with basic services because people can't afford them anymore, and you got to be dependent on somebody to give you something, that is the essence of non-liberty, lack of freedom. I mean, that's what we're going to with stuff like this. And it's a laughable thing at this point because they're laundering it in such a way to make it palatable, like that's something that we really should be okay with. It's a little disconcerting, folks. It's a little disconcerting. And where are you going to go in the world to escape it? It's everywhere at this point. It's everywhere. Anyway, we're not done. A couple more points to make, a couple of announcements. Hang tight. We'll be right back. All right, folks, go to watchchad.com. That's where all the fun stuff is. And try to keep a level head about you, folks. Come out, hang out with us at a show coming up. We're going to be in Granbury Friday night. Sold out show. Saturday night, going to be in Waco. Next week, I'm going to be in Pawhuska. I think I'm saying that right. Oklahoma, doing a comedy show on, I think that's the 17th. That's a Saturday night. That one is going to be sold out as well. So get your tickets right now. If you're anywhere in the Tulsa area or above that, that's up there in that area, get your tickets. WatchChad.com's got all the information. I would be remiss if I did not tell you to go subscribe, BlazeTV.com/Chad. Use promo code Chad and save on an annual subscription. And you can also go to ChadOnBlaze.com, do a little shopping, buy you some T-shirts, some of that pure blood stuff, and check it out. Mark, Brandon, phenomenal job these last 2 days. Quite honestly, I think it's the best job anybody's ever done. Chris is out of here. Chris has been in Israel, so we don't have to listen to his laugh. Every now and then I think Chris is asleep, and then he's like, ah! It's good stuff.
You think he went to the Wailing Wall and laughed instead of crying?
Oh, I don't know. With Chris, who knows? But I guarantee he's walking the Holy Land in Crocs. Tomorrow's Wednesday. We're going to get Humpty Hump. See you then. Bye.